When camping, it's essential to have some sort of platform to be able to cook or make food on. This is camping, hiking, or even if you're doing any type of fishing and you want to cook something, or if you're on a long trip and you want to take a little break and have some hot food. There's a couple of ways around this. I use a number of different options. If I'm lightweight camping, I'll use a chopping board just on my lap, which is what I'm using in these first couple of clips. That's the easiest way to get a platform. However, if you need to get up and down, it can be tricky lifting it and putting it somewhere and then having it's just a bit of a nightmare. What I have been doing recently is I've had this camping table. I've bought this with my own money. It's not sponsored or anything like that. So I saw it on Amazon. It was like 19.99, and it's called a camping folding table. I'll put a link in the description. You can check it out. But I'm going to show you an overview here of how I use it, what I like about it, and how easy it is to put together. You'll notice it's like a bit of an aluminium base case, and you open out all of those like a camping chair style, and they lock into place. And there's a upper tabletop, which is like a folding section, so it folds down very nice and small. It's lightweight. I think it's under a kilogram, so it's very lightweight. I don't notice it. I normally fold it alongside with my chair, because if I have a chair, I'm going to need a table. I also pack a little tablecloth as well. I like the top of this. There's a number of colors available. You can have like a black or silver or whatever. And I normally have a tablecloth just to make it a little less noisy, because I do a lot of ASMR camping videos on my other channels, so I want it to be a little bit dampened when I put things down on the table. I don't want it to be loud and clunky. I'll show you a few examples of this table throughout the use of it, and also cover all the common questions that I had when I wanted to buy it. Firstly, can you cook on it? Well, that's a question that you can answer yes and no. So I cook on mine because I use a gas stove. I use a chopping board as well as where to put my items when they're hot. If you get little coasters which are heat proof, you can use them on top of the table. And over time, I'm sure there will be marks and things that will be on the table if you use it regularly. But the way I do it is I use a camping stove, a small stove on a little canister, and then I put my kettle on top of it and boil the water. So far I've used it for a number of camping trips, and I've had beans on toast, I've had hot chocolate, I've had warmed water for tea and for pasta. So far I haven't ventured into full cooking mode yet. However, there are videos coming soon where I'm going to be fully cooking on this table. So you'll notice here, this is the camping table, and then I use a chopping board which I used to use on my lap as the table. So that works as an area of where the hot food can stay, as well as a cutting area. And you'll notice here I'm just doing a bit of a crusty baguette. How would you say that? Baguette or baguette? With some peanut butter on, and I normally like that with a cup of tea. So the table is quite sturdy. You can cut on top of it. You'll notice that I've got a stove cooking and boiling water at the same time while I'm cutting, so there is a little bit of movement, but notice I'm not on even ground. So a lot of times when you're out and about, you will notice that the ground is not always going to be even. So how does it perform in that scenario? Well, it performed quite well. You'll notice it's on a bit of a slant here, but I was still able to cut my food on the chopping board, which is resting on the table. It handles weight quite well. I've had quite a few heavy pieces of gear on this, like tents and tops, when they're all folding up, and it's done well, to be honest. So overall, I like it because firstly it's cheap, because $20 for a folding table is not too bad. I paid at £20 for my chair as well. And you'll notice I've taken it to different locations over time. I use it in the big TP tent, and this is how it looks with like a normal average size person. I'm 5'8" and about 85 kilograms. So it's not nice enough to have main things on there. Is it too small? Maybe. It depends what you're doing. You can get two of them and put them side by side if that's an option. Or just plan when you're cooking. So heat your hot food first, get that done if you can, and then move this out the way, and then go on to the secondary option for like preparing the meal, so you can not just have it in phases. So that's something to keep in plan if you're camping, and if you're camping anyway, you're going to be well planned and well set up, because you're going to be obviously packaging everything you need to take along with you. I don't think this is only for camping though. If you go out on long motorcycle rides, if you go for hiking, if you go for car rides to other towns, you can use a top and this table and chair just to have like a bit of a break outside of your car. If you find a nice park, you can sit down and relax. And if there's not shops close by, you can brew up your own tea, a nice hot cup of tea, and it kind of covers you in that situation. And I like that you can fit all of this in a bag easily. So my stove, I'll do another video where I'll explain all the setup I do in one bag, just so you've got like a backup option. And you notice here, there's the gas canister that I normally put within the cooking pot, and then I package the stove in there, and everything kind of packs together nicely and small, keeping everything together. So overall, the table itself is a good option. I'm going to show you a quick overview of how quickly it packs down as well, so you can see how small it goes, and does it fit back into its original bag, because that's like a big question. So the main key things is I normally get my kettle and any food and water and get rid of any excess, pack everything over nicely. I normally pack my table last because I find as I'm doing things, I can rest my keys, my phone, my cameras, anything that you're preparing to like put away, you can put onto your table, and then pack it up last and have it on the top of your gear, because it comes in handy quite nicely. And any crumbs or water that's perishable, like organic food, it's fine to brush off over the side, because normally the swans and birds kind of eat that kind of stuff. But just make sure if you got any rubbish with you, you take it with you, plastics and any like stuff like that. So always leave no trace, as they say. That's a top tip. So you'll see here see that it's nice and easy, it just folds together. You can wrap an extra towel over your main tabletop. I normally do this as a backup, like there's an extra cloth there, so if something spills, I've got a backup, easy access to a cloth. And there's a top tip there. Put it all back in the bag, easily packs away, lightweight. There's nothing the must-haves alongside a camping table and a few other kits. Check out this next video here where you'll see more about what else you should be having with you.